Hi everybody, it's Anne here from The Mindful Rider again. So I've realised I've been a bit slack and I haven't actually done a little recording of me for a little while, so I thought that I would actually get my act together and do a quick film for you today. So what am I going to talk about today? Well, actually today I'm going to go off in a bit of a different direction and talk to you about goal setting. It's that time of the year where it's quite important that you start to think about what you would like to achieve out of your coming year. And so every year I give my riders goal sheets to fill in, or I ask them, I shouldn't say I give them, I ask them, do they want a goal sheet? They have the opportunity to say, yeah, I'd like a goal sheet, and then I send it to them. And I find the goal sheets so stimulating for me as a coach, because when they fill in their goal sheet and they send it back to me, I can look at that goal sheet and go, oh my God, this is what they want, and I have a direction for where they want to go, what their dreams are, what their ambitions are. And it makes it that I can mold their lessons and their year towards their goal. The other thing about the goal sheets is that when the riders fill it in, they send it to me, and I prefer it by email that they send it back to me. And at the end of the year, I send it back to them and I say, here's your goal sheet from last year. And they can see what they've achieved and how they managed to actually achieve quite a lot of their dreams, a lot of their goals. And by this time, usually by the end of the year, they've either lost their goal sheet that they'd written out, or they've filed it somewhere and they don't know where it is, or they've just plain forgot about it. And I just tap them on the shoulder and I send them that email with their new goal sheet and their old goal sheet so they can have a look. So what sort of reactions do I get from my students when I talk to them about these goal sheets? It's actually quite amusing, because sometimes I get yeah, goal sheet, great, send it to me, I want to fill it in. And then the next one will sort of roll their eyes and go oh God, goal sheets, no, I can't be bothered. And then other people will be sort of reluctant to fill it in, but maybe take the goal sheet and then look at it and think, oh, that looks like it's just too much effort for me to put in. Some people are actually time poor, and so they look at it and say, I just can't, I haven't got time to do that. But it actually is worth the time to just sit and think about it, look at it, pencil it in. You don't have to do it all in one go. You can do it over a number of days or even weeks and keep building on it. That's absolutely fine. And other people are so demotivated with life or with the way their horses are going, they just can't. No, I just don't want to fill in a goal sheet. I'm just not interested. And that's all okay. But what I want to point out to you is that in a way, a goal is a dream with an end date. And so only you can create your own dream and motivate it. And so the first step of motivating it often is by filling in the goal sheet. Or you can continue with an aimless year of no direction and end up in the same place a year later. One of my students really made me giggle this year. She said one of her biggest goals was going to be actually filling in my goal sheet, because she said it's so long. And so I thought, oh, flip, I never thought about that. So, because I get enthusiastic and keep adding bits onto it and changing it around. And so I filled in a goal sheet myself this year. I filled in my own goal sheet. And I found it really interesting, what I actually came up with. And I didn't end up with one goal. I ended up with 5 goals. 5 goals that I want to achieve. Because as I started to fill in my goal sheet, I realized there isn't one goal here. There's got to be a number of goals to get to my ultimate goal. So any goal I have with my horse also I have to have other goals in place. My work, my life, my time, my welfare. There's so many other parts to my goal setting. And so it was really interesting for me to fill in my own goal sheet. And it didn't take that long. So first of all, with the goal sheet, the first part I've got on my goal sheet is reflect on last year. What is there that you could celebrate that went really well? And what's interesting, most of the riders have already deleted that information from their memory banks. Oh, I'd forgotten about that, they say. But there's actually so many things you can celebrate about what you've achieved in a year, whether they were on your goal sheet or not. I found myself listing so many things that I was thankful for that had happened in the past year on which I could celebrate. Often there will be things that the goals will put you into a situation of being uncomfortable. And that's okay. That's putting you into stretch. And so, oh my goodness, I can't tell you how many times I have been uncomfortable in the last year with challenges that have been put in front of me, and yet I've overcome them and come out strong on the other side. If you had a year last year wasn't at all like you wished it to be, you've got to go back and really split it down. You know, what can I change to make it better? Did I aim too high? Did I not manage my life so well? I mean, I know last year, towards the end of last year, I could really feel that I was starting to mentally get really tired and get a little bit burnt out. So I built that into my goals for this next year, that I will take mini breaks throughout the year to prevent that from happening again the next year. What's the point of making the same mistake again and again and again? So anyway, if any of you, whether you are having lessons with me, whether you're one of my students or not, I don't care. I will happily send you a goal sheet. All you have to do is hop onto my website, www.annmontgomery.com.au, drop me a quick line saying, please send me the goal sheet, and I will send you that goal sheet. It's free. I'm giving it to you. I just want you all to have an aim in your life and success at the end of 2018. Thank you for listening to me today.